Hello, hello, hello.
I'm Megan.
And I'm Naomi,
And this is Inside Jokes.
the show where you can only listen to it if,
You've celebrated your half birthday.
or even, your 3/4. And this is the theme song for the week. Hold on a second. Let's get it going here.
This is the least amount of technical difficulties we've had.
I know. Where is it? Where is it? I played it before. It was working.
I jinxed it.
You sure did.
Hold on. It's coming.
Oh, you know why? Because the mic's not on.
That might do it. Here we go.
The man to your side thinks he's fly, but he's wearing Uggs at a bus stop. You look his way and see a selfie as the lock screen on his phone. So, no, I don't get your story, no, I don't understand your style, and no, you'll be brought up on my show. And now is that time, and so, gross guys at the club, ugly shirts, crazy stuff on the TTC. Stories where we laughed and cried, jokes on the inside with Megan and Naomi. Gross guys at the club, ugly shirts, crazy stuff on the TTC. Stories where we laughed and cried, jokes on the inside with Megan and Naomi.
That was beautiful.
Thanks. Did you like it?
I did like
how'd
this
you feel?
week's. I think the lyrics were amazing. It was a good.
Yeah?
I think they were really good with the actual song itself.
Thank you.
I think it was good. I liked it. The writing was great.
Thank you. I actually am pretty proud of that one too. And I've had that one for like 2 months now, ready to rumble. Like I thought of it 2 months ago, and I will sing. Like I have it play sometimes because I like the song in general, but I can't even sing it normally anymore. Like I'll just sing "Gross guys at the club."
That's
ugly
good. It
shirts,
works
crazy
well.
stuff on the TTC. It's a banger.
Yeah, like the guy with the Uggs at the bus stop.
It's a whole
It's good.
story.
No, it's good. It's really good. I like it.
And we would make fun of the man with the Uggs at the bus stop, probably.
Oh, you know we would.
Especially if a selfie of himself is a lock screen on his phone.
Oh,
So
of course.
I thought you'd enjoy.
We'd look at each other like with
Megan,
wide eyes.
Megan, look,
Yes.
look.
And then when he's out of earshot, we'd talk about it.
A lock screen? Like who
It
has
was a
yours
selfie.
of himself?
And like he wasn't even looking at the camera.
It's so weird.
And why was he shirtless? Like that's just how we talk in
my
general.
God.
And why were the Uggs the pink ones with the bows in the back? Who buys those?
Why were they the sequin ones where if you brush it one side it turns one color, you brush it one side it's the other?
Ugh, come on, man.
That's for children.
Actually, so today we're going to be talking about basically everything that we ever did when we were a kid that was dumb,
Yeah.
things we believe. But before we get into those kind of stories, I would just like to send a lovely update from my mom
Yeah.
because, I text my mom every once in a while. And
What a good child.
thanks. So my parents are actually going away for 2 weeks. So, that means party at my house. But that's a different point for a different time. So they were subwaying to the airport, and my mom decided to share with me their subway experience.
Mm-hmm.
So I just get this text out of nowhere. Funny subway story. A woman sat across from us, middle seat. She gets up, and I notice that the seat she vacated is covered with white feathers. I watch her walk away and see that the back of her down coat has all these slash marks and feathers are coming out. No one sat on the whole row of seats because of all the feathers. And at each stop, the gust of air from the doors would send feathers flying into people's faces. Eventually, after we all ingested them, the seats were clear, and new passengers were none the wiser. What?
Yeah, that's a lot.
I just love the wording of the story, too.
Me too. I was about to say the way that your mom wrote it is very well written.
Yeah.
Which makes it even more funny.
Yeah, like
because-
it was so properly written.
Yeah.
And like she sees the humor in it, but she didn't write it with any humor. She just said it like it is. She described it beautifully. The scenery of the feathers being all over the subway cart, and then they all ate them.
A gust of wind. I
A
like
gust of wind blew the feathers into
Yeah.
everybody's mouths until the subway was clean. Like,
you read it beautifully too, though.
thank you.
I must say.
That's the voice that story needed.
It's true.
But yeah, so my mom apparently ate a lot of down feathers today.
Yum.
Yum.
Anyways, I think that's a good story to tell. But today's topic is called "We Go Way Back."
Because we do.
We do. We've been friends. We've known each other for 15 years.
Yeah.
We've been friends for maybe, I want to say, like 8 years now.
Yeah, and then we became like really close friends, more so like in high school years, which
Yeah.
should have been the opposite because that's when we were actually apart.
Yeah, we didn't go to the same high school. Megan went to a nerd high school,
Yep.
and she was the president of the nerd high school.
I am the president of the nerds, everybody.
And I went to a French school, like a French immersion school. So I just didn't go to a nerd school. I just went to a regular school where I get to now go, oui, oui, je parle français.
And I went, I can do science.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that just sums us up in high school.
that sums us up as people.
Oh, for sure.
You know me.
But we're not talking about high school today.
Yeah.
Because high school,
That's a
it's
whole other
cringy in
show.
its own way.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just talking about us as children. And other people we know as children because we've had a few stories told. But first, let's start off. Megan, give us this thing you did as a child.
A thing I did as a child. So, basically, my dad would feed me a lot of like words and lines that a kid shouldn't know. So a lot of what I would do that would embarrass them in public would be I would use words that I really shouldn't be using. So an example would be my dad and I used to play Lego.
Mm-hmm.
But not like we would have like storylines, like, like elaborate. We'd have
Yeah.
we'd have reoccurring characters.
Yeah.
And my parents got a call one day when I was talking in class about my favorite character, Mother Trucker. Like, your daughter has been talking about Mother Trucker in class.
Wow.
Similar story.
Yeah.
My parents also got a call from my teacher when I went to my teacher and told her that, ma'am, I spilled juice on my wife beater. Because my dad told me that white tank tops were called wife beaters.
Okay, that's actually
My teacher's like, you spilled juice on your what? My wife beater?
yes.
Can I get a
Yes.
clean wife beater, please?
Yes. You're like an old Greek man. Like
Yeah.
that's why I think when you initially told me, you were like, yeah, my dad thought wife beater was what white tank tops were called. I was like, oh yes, that's what. Whenever I picture a white tank top, I think of like all of the old men
Greek
that
men.
that sit
On, like,
in
a
my
white
neighborhood.
lawn chair.
I live in Greektown, so I see this a lot. Like they sit on their porch, they wear their white tank tops. They are the kind of people that would call them wife beaters, and
Yeah.
I think it suits them. So I'm not mad at them about that.
But like a 5-year-old girl going to her teacher because she spilled juice on
Yeah.
her wife
And
beater.
also, I'm not saying that they're like
that they beat
beating their
wives.
wives on that. I'm just
Just they would
saying,
call
like,
it that. Be like, yeah, my wife beater.
That's a good Greek man voice.
Yes, I have one old man voice, and that's the accent. I'm sorry.
You're disappointing.
Okay,
the
give me a
fans.
Greek old man
No.
voice. Exactly.
I'm not Greek. I can't do it.
Sure, that's why.
Yeah. If I were Greek, I'd totally no.
And there's one more to sort of
okay,
put the
my
cherry
bad,
on
yeah.
that sort of series of me saying things I shouldn't be saying.
Thanks to your dad.
Yes.
Okay.
So there was one time we were in public. We were at a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad, I was trying to tell something to my dad. And he's
Mhm.
like, oh, can you say that a little louder? So in the middle of a restaurant, I yell, I have to take a shit. And I'm like 4.
Oh God, Mark was just messing with you, eh?
Yeah, but
Mark.
he got burned on all of these. He got calls from my teacher be like, why is your daughter talking about like wife beaters? And
Oh
also
my
in public, me just
God.
being 4
What
and yelling.
grade was this again? Like
These would have all have been like 1st and 2nd grade tops. I was young when all those happened.
man. So I
was
would have known. I
gullible.
would have known the teacher too. That's
Yeah.
funny. I've never had like the call home like your daughter's doing this.
Your daughter is saying
The
shit in
the
class.
only time is like I sometimes would watch Dr. Phil with my mom. But it would never be like the serious ones, or at least like I don't remember ever watching the serious ones because it was kind of boring, I think, to me. Because when you're a kid, you're like, conversation. They're just talking. Do
Yeah.
something. But I do remember my favorite episode ever. They had, there was a woman who was addicted, like not really, but like I think that's how they phrased it, or like obsessed with the color purple.
Okay, it can be addicted to the color purple.
Yeah, but I feel like how
I can
Dr. Phil
picture.
goes, you
Yeah.
know, addicted, whatever. But everything in her house was purple. All her clothes that she wore all day were purple. And the thing that I really latched onto as a 5-year-old girl was her cat. She dyed it purple.
Oh my god.
And then her best friend's had the same exact situation, but with the color pink. And she also had a pink cat. And so when we were in kindergarten talking about like what kind of pets we wanted, I was like, I want a purple cat. And then they were like, what? Where'd you find a purple cat? Ha ha ha. Maybe Alice in Wonderland, like that cat. And I was like, oh yeah, I saw it on Dr. Phil. And
yeah, on Dr. Phil with my mom.
Yeah, we watch it together. So that's the only like thing that was.
I feel like I can
bad.
picture the promo for that like episode.
Mm-hmm.
Marianne is 64 and everything in her world is purple.
I just love the color purple. I don't see what's wrong with that.
It has gotten to a dangerous level. She has stopped talking to her kids because they refuse to wear purple in her house.
I just want my mom back.
I told them that they couldn't come in this house unless they were wearing the color purple. That's their choice, not mine.
And ladies and gentlemen, here she is, Marianne. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
But there needs to be a lot of like, we can't say this over audio, but I always envision like the quick, zoom edits, and like the obviously staged scenes where it's like, Mom, why do you like the color purple? I just do. And it's like, obviously the producers made them say that.
And like her in her closet, like holding up 2 different purple shirts next to each other.
Obviously a shot of her petting her cat purple.
Yeah.
Her
Was the
petting
cat's
her
name
purple
Purple?
cat.
Purple?
Oh, I don't remember.
I hope it was. Or like a shade of purple.
Perpy, for sure.
Perpy? It's too close to...
Perpy. Anyways, so that was something, but I actually like didn't even remember that until you brought it up. But stuff that I did as a kid, a lot of it, I mean, my notes were on my phone, but
You just
my
dropped
phone
your
just
phone.
fell, so
It's abandoned.
yeah, I just gotta come up
We
with them
can't
on
pick
my
it
own.
up.
A lot of ones, it's like, there's 2 worlds, I think. When I was a really little kid, it was never my fault that I did something, but then as I got older, like maybe like 9 to 11, I started to do things like just to mess with other people. So when I was a kid, for example, we went to the Royal Winter Fair. I got a cone filled with like little niblets of food to feed the animals.
Okay, good. I was wondering what kind of food comes in niblets that you were going to eat yourself.
To feed myself.
Like niblets.
Cheese niblets for dinner.
Okay, Naomi.
Royal Winter Fair.
What did your parents do to you? Why were you
No.
eating niblets?
I just ate kibble for the first 6 years of my life just to see.
That explains so much. That's why your parents are 6 foot tall and you're short. So the niblets. I'm sorry, Naomi. That sounds really tough.
What do you guys have for snack? Oh yeah, I just got my niblets. Anyways, okay, sorry. So I got a cone of niblets for my breakfast or whatever. No, what am I saying? I got a cone of niblets to feed the goats, and they put me down, and I had like a little cone. Like I was like, all right, Naomi, here you go. And there's footage of this too, or footage right before it, because I was like 3. My dad documented like most of that stuff. And I did that, and then I just like suddenly like, oh look, there's one coming up, and then like, oh look, there's another one, and then I suddenly just got like a swarm of them were just coming towards me, just stampeding, and I was put on the ground, and I was like 3, so they were like bigger than me, and they were all about to like just attack me with my little cone of niblets, and then my dad like picked me up, and like that's pretty much it. But he was like,
Just,
oh god,
lifted you above the crowd of goats.
yeah, as they're like all swarming around me.
Your dad slowly
Yeah,
lowers as
like-
the goats
like-
eat him.
tell Naomi.
Tell your mom I love her.
Deirdre. But yeah, so that was like one thing I did as a kid. And then as I got older, I did things. Sometimes I did things to test things out. Like one time I wanted a timeout just to see.
That's such like a rebellious kid thing to do. Like, I'm gonna get in trouble because I want to get in trouble.
Oh, I was just talking to my friend in class, which is like probably why I get in trouble in general.
Mm.
Like I don't really do anything bad. I was a pretty good kid, but I do like to talk.
Same issue. I think that's, but thing is, I was like a goody two shoes. So as soon as like Madame flipped that green to a yellow, I'm like, oh my god, I can never talk ever again.
The greens and the yellows.
I was such a goody two shoes. That yellow hurt me.
Yeah, same.
And I talked a lot, so I got yellow. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, or so just for clarification, so everyone knows what we're talking about. One of our teachers in grade 2 and 3, I think it was this. Some of them had the same method. So we had like a little wheel next to our name, and it had a green, yellow, and red, like on a board, like made out of paper. And if we all started off with a green every day, and if you did something kind of bad, you'd get a yellow, and if you did something really bad, you'd get a red. And that's pretty much what that is. I only got a yellow once because my mom forgot to sign my agenda because you had to get your parents to sign your agenda, and I cried. I was so sad. And I think they changed it to a green just because I was so sad
you
about
cried.
it. Yeah. And I also remember one time there was this like really troublesome kid in our class, and he got mad one time. Like he lashed out at our teacher, and he's like, you know what? Like, because he got a red, and he's like, "Ugh," and he switched all of the yellows and reds of everybody in the class.
I remember
and he gave
that day.
Yeah, you were there.
yeah,
Were you
I
in
was there.
My grade 2 class.
It must have been. So I remember, or either
Yeah.
that, or you've told me this story, and I'm now living it in my head.
We must have been in the same class because we weren't friends, right? So
No.
it's a
We go way
potential.
back, but we only became friends like
Yeah.
at a certain time.
But anyway, so like, yeah, he switched all of them, and I remember being so mad. I was like, he gave me a yellow, which isn't even the worst one, but I'm like, he gave me a yellow. That monster.
And like as if the teacher would take that kid doing it and be like, "Well, I'm sorry, Naomi, that kid switched it to a yellow. That's just your color for the
He
day."
decides.
I
He
can't.
decides.
He's the higher power here.
Also, if you spoke French 5 times, or if she heard you speaking English 5 times, you get detention.
Yes, I remember those rules. But like that was French immersion. That's fair. Oh my God, the door just opened by itself. We have a ghost.
Can you go close it?
Yeah, I can go close it. All right.
Are you going?
1
Sorry.
second.
Well, people walk by, so they might like
Oh.
overhear us. In the meanwhile, other things that happened. I didn't know how to pronounce my own name for like 14 years of my life. One time someone goes, "Is it Naomi or Naomi?" And I was like, "Oh, I actually don't know because I don't care enough to be like, actually, it's this." But I was like, well, I better figure it out. So I asked my parents at age 14 how to properly pronounce my name. And it's Naomi, for everyone wondering.
Does it bug you though when people use the wrong one?
Only if I know them for a really long time. So I have a certain friend who I'm very close with. I know them very well. And I've known them for a year or over a year now. And now they still call me Naomi. And
Like your nickname is Nai.
my
Oh, in some
nickname
friend
was
groups.
Nai when we were
Okay.
kids. Please no one call me that now. That's not my nickname.
Guys, you can't say that because everyone's gonna do the reverse of what you said. But anyways, you're in like high school. We'd call you Nai,
Okay,
and
yeah.
which is like an easy
But
way
that's
of
because you
remembering
were
the
my
right way to
friends in
pronounce it.
Yeah, but that's because you were my friends in like elementary
Yeah.
school, and they called me Nai then. But like I really didn't go by that because someone told me it meant milk in Chinese, and I was like, oh no, I can't.
I can't
I
live.
can't live knowing my name is milk in Cantonese
I think
or Mandarin. Sorry, my bad.
I go with like a similar thing between like to me my name is Megan, but some people pronounce it Megan, and I don't know why, but that kind of irks me when they go Megan.
Don't I say that?
Everyone says it right, like Megan,
Megan.
like May, month of May,
Yeah,
Megan.
yeah.
Yeah. That's just like a personal thing, but I think it's just because like in all those like sketch comedy shows when they want to use like a really annoying person.
My name's Megan.
My name's Megan.
There's a whole
it's nice to meet you.
There's a whole character in 17 again with Zac Efron whose name is either Naomi or Naomi, and she like Zac Efron's character always mispronounces it, and she goes, "It's Naomi." And I'm like, see, I just don't want to be that person. Like, I just can't be her.
Exactly.
But yeah. Other stories. This is, so as I said, I was a kid. It wasn't my fault. I got in trouble. When I was like older, I kind of tested the waters. And then when I got like 11, this is like the worst. I don't know if this is stupid. It's kind of just like, just trying to mess with someone. So my dear friend Nicole, who said I could, tell this story about her, she really wanted to have her first kiss, and we were like 11 or 12, so that was kind of like the thing, right? Like, oh, first kiss, but blah, blah, blah. I had not had my first kiss, but we were having a sleepover, and she was telling us how, oh, I can't wait to have my first kiss, or I wonder who, something about whatever, and I was like, oh, and she's like, I wonder what it feels like, no, and I was like, I've had my first kiss. And she was like, oh my God, really? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, with who? And I was like, someone from camp. You don't know who they are. Classic, right? It's like she's from Canada, you don't know her.
Yeah. I actually can picture you telling this story. I think the last time you told me the story, we were in middle school. And right now I'm picturing myself in our middle school.
Yeah. Well, I'm not proud of this, but not only did I tell her I had my first kiss, like that's one thing. But then after that, I told her, she was like, what did it feel like? Was it amazing? Like, did it feel like fireworks? And I was like, no, it felt like a gross, wet frog.
You're psyching her up for hers.
Oh. And she was like, really? And I was like, yeah, it was disgusting. It was the worst experience of my life. And she was like, oh no, I hope mine isn't like that. I'm like, it probably will be.
Oh.
It will. Just destroyed her. And she was so sad because she really wanted like a first kiss, like a boyfriend, like whatever. And I just like destroyed it for her. For what? Just to see her go, oh no.
Got her.
But the worst part was we stayed friends. We're still friends to this day. So ultimately, when I had my real first kiss, I had to tell her that the one that I told her all those years ago was not even true, and I was just being rude.
How did she react, like, when you first told her that was fake?
She was like, oh, really? Like, she kind of forgot.
Yeah, I feel like you're old enough that that's not even a big deal anymore.
Yeah, she forgot the details as to, like, what I said and how it was gross. And she, I don't even remember if she'd had her, whatever. It was kind of like we were at an age where it was kind of like, whatever.
Exactly.
But it's just like, I said that, and I thought it was hilarious, and I was telling all my like I told you in middle school. I was like, listen what I told Nicole.
Yeah. Well, speaking of like middle school age,
yeah,
something that I am not that proud of is the fact that I thought I was gonna be a singer as a career path.
Yeah.
Until about like 7th grade, which is old enough to know.
Yeah.
That's not really gonna happen.
Yeah.
So I held on to that. It's like I was that kid that like thought they were gonna be a singer for a while.
Do you remember in the playground in elementary school we played American Idol?
Yes.
And everyone would take turns singing.
Yes.
That's where I realized I wasn't a good singer. No one ever complimented me. They're like, all right, who's next? Like, never like, good job, you know. But everyone liked you, I think.
What a flex.
I'm just saying.
Also, and you want to know, I can tell you that for a fact when we played those games that my whatever like 10-year-old self took those like criticisms like seriously. I remember once someone, I think it may have literally been Anna.
Yeah.
She's like, when you jump up and down, because we would do performances with our singing, when you jump it makes your voice sound weird. I'm like, oh my God,
I can't jump
I can never jump again.
My act.
It's
whole
ruined.
Plan.
But yeah, so I thought I was going to be a singer until like 7th grade. So I convinced my parents to take me to go audition for The Next Star.
And Megan, what's The Next Star?
It's a YTV singing competition where you go, it's like American Idol, but the age cap is 16. So you have to be younger.
And it's just a Canadian.
It's Canadian YTV, so it's not like the whole world watches.
Nah.
But I watched, and I wanted to be on it. And I was ready to shoot for the stars. So Poor parents. The process is waking up at 5 a.m. 5 a.m. because you have to be there for 6 downtown. It's like
Wow.
it's like on Queen West somewhere was where they were doing the
Oh.
auditions. So we woke up that early. We had to wait in line. Also, it's important to note that this is at a time in my life where my like regular attire, like I'm gonna describe to you what I wore that day.
Was it a fedora?
That's okay. So we're gonna start from the top to the bottom, and yes, the top starts with a denim fedora. That was my favorite fedora. I had a fedora
How many
phase.
did you have?
3.
I don't think our viewers can see, or our listeners obviously can't see, but the look in your eyes when you said 3. It was so sad.
Because I can picture all 3 of them right now. The one that I wore that day is on our Instagram. I think it's one of our first posts was me introducing myself since not a lot of your friends know me.
Yeah.
And it's like I had an Obama phase, and the picture of me with Obama, I'm wearing that denim fedora.
You are.
I also owned a fedora that was like that like kind of straw colored material
Okay,
with like a black
okay.
band.
Yep.
And I had a brown one too.
Okay.
So those are my fedoras.
Nice.
Anyways, top to the
My
bottom.
collection.
Denim fedora. I had a thing for like big jewelry, so I was wearing this purple necklace from H&M that had these huge acrylic beads on it. It was like 4 huge acrylic purple beads on a
Wow.
purple like ribbon.
Yeah.
I was wearing a matching purple like blouse that was
Okay.
used to be my mom's. Oh
Okay.
my god. And I was wearing white like knee-length khakis. White. Just
Okay.
picture this color palette. I've got bright purple, denim, white
Yeah,
khakis, and then to top it all off, to bring the color palette just
no.
round circle, I was wearing my favorite royal blue Crocs.
No.
That was the outfit I wore to go audition for a show where like kids were cool. And I'm there in my Crocs, denim fedora, like khakis mom's blouse.
You wore Crocs.
I wore Crocs. I had, once again,
Did it have Croc charms?
no,
Oh.
that's one trend thank God I
Too
missed, I
bad.
guess.
But that's still, that is a look.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And I had braces at the time. And my mom let me dye my hair as of 3rd grade, so I had chunky highlights for a long time. So I just, honestly, they could have put me on air just to make fun of me. Thank God they didn't. I was a
You
mess.
could have been one of those bad audition people.
But that's the thing is, like, actually, like, I'm not gonna sit here and say like I'm an amazing singer, but I'm not bad.
That's
So
the thing.
it's not. So it wouldn't have been funny because I've been like, oh, she was okay, but she looks funny.
Yeah. I mean, you were pretty good in our game, like American Idol in the playground. So yeah, I think you're good. That's
All I remember from that audition is the girl next to me forgetting the lyrics, but she was there with her sister who was also auditioning. So her sister starts like telling her the lyrics in her ear, and she's like crying while singing. Yeah, and then she
What-
didn't make it through, and then cried more.
Yeah, fair. What song did you?
I sung "Girl, Put Your Records On."
Oh yeah,
My backup song was "Bubbly," Colby Calais.
I don't know that one. But I do know the first one.
Yes.
Girl,
Put your records on. One day I'll recreate the audition. I'll get the outfit together.
Okay,
That'd be a great video.
that'd be fun.
You'll be all 3 judges.
Yeah, that was gonna be my next point. Like, side note, but like, imagine being a judge for that show. How fun.
That would be so fun.
How fun. But also, how many teens do you like?
That's the thing is like it was not even that many people were honestly 16. It was a lot of like the 12 age range.
Yeah, because I feel like not that many 16-year-olds watched The Next Star.
No.
Like, to be honest, I didn't even watch The Next Star, and I was 12.
Yeah, only one person ever actually got like mildly popular off it. Like Victoria Duffield.
I thought you were gonna say Victoria Ja.
No. She's American, but one person got mildly popular for one song off that show. After
Yeah.
that, it was all like downhill. But yeah, so that's I was too old to be doing that and thinking it was gonna go somewhere. So it's pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. I was old enough to know better.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's embarrassing,
wow.
but hilarious.
That's so good.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever did anything like that. I wish. I mean, that would be really funny.
That's the thing is like I was kind of embarrassing as a kid, but I was very confident in my embarrassingness.
Mhm.
So I never thought what I was doing was wrong. So I was very forthcoming with like I would wear really weird stuff, but I was into it, so I didn't care.
Yeah.
So I have lots of really fun pictures of outfits. I liked a lot of tie dye and a lot of color.
Okay. I feel like I just kind of dressed like a mom a bit.
Mini
Like,
mom.
Pardon me?
Mini mom?
Yeah. Like, well, I'm still the same height, so I'll probably still be, if I ever have kids, I'll probably still be 5'2". So
Did you stop growing after like grade 6?
grade 8.
That's
Yeah.
impressive.
That was kind of my end.
That's impressive.
I know, and I was like normal. I was like, man, I'm average. And then everyone else grew, and I was like, oh, I'm short now, but that's okay. I just wore like I did dress kind of just mom like, and I also was reading my old Facebook posts, and they're also very like I would tell like knock jokes.
Oh, Facebook posts. What's
Yeah.
what's the one knock joke that sticks with you?
What do you call an alarm clock's ancestor?
I don't know.
A grandfather clock.
Oh,
And also, like, I recently saw a post that I did that was like, Facebook asked me if I wanted to use Timeline because you had the option back then. And I went, and I said, heck no.
keep Facebook the same.
Yeah,
It's
and
good
I'm
as
like,
it is.
What am I? I feel like an old that's like, no change. Change is bad. I'm 12. Like, I was 12.
I just got on this website. I'm not trying to change it.
Yeah, I literally had it for at least, only a year at the most.
My parents didn't let me get Facebook until I was 14, which was the age to get that you're legally allowed to get Facebook.
Yeah, I think I got mine when I was 12 because my mom needed help with an assignment of some sort. So I got like an easy pass for that. But yeah, I don't even want to reread my old stuff.
I've gone through it. I took remember teenager posts?
Of course.
Like a number 460 something.
As
like
if there were that many,
like
yeah.
when you pop bubble wrap just for fun.
Yeah, you posted like those.
Sometimes, but 9 times out of 10, I just took them and wrote what it said and didn't say it was a teenager post. I just stole
You
teenager
stole
posts.
that?
Haha. People
No
will
one
think I'm
knew.
funny.
I don't even remember them, but that's really good.
I scrubbed my Facebook clean like before high school, but I stole so many teenager posts. And like I remember I took like the cringiest selfies. Like Camille, our close friends, and I, we would just like have days where we would just like take selfies and like put
Yeah.
filters on them and stuff.
Yeah.
And the captions, like I can picture one in my head, and the caption was, "This is my best friend. Cross her, you die." And like
Yeah. We're not best friends. We're sisters.
exactly like those kind of
Yeah.
things.
I actually I guess I was like mildly woke as a teen. Or sorry, as a preteen, because me and my best friend Natalie would make those kinds of posts too, but they were for jokes. Like we would do like wishing you had your bestie's hair, and then it would be like a picture of me like my hair, and then Natalie would be behind with like scissors, just like cutting my hair, and we were like teenager post, and we like made a whole thing, and I don't think we sent it or posted it anywhere, but it was pretty good.
That's good though.
Yeah.
Like imagine like so it's you as a kid like I love my hair, and then Natalie with just like a handful of your hair and just the
Yeah.
biggest scissors.
Yeah, or it would be like when she makes cute things, and we found this like really ugly thing that I sewed because I had a phase for a bit where I thought I was gonna start sewing things. And I sewed this like weird ugly little monster thing, but I couldn't find any stuffing, so I just put like dryer lint as the
Oh
stuffing.
my god.
I also did that for someone's Secret Santa in grade 2. I just
In grade 2?
Yeah, we had Secret Santa in grade 2, and it was like
You made them something?
I made Zachary sang an ornament, and it was a soccer ball because he loved playing soccer. And I cut out the two sides. I drew a soccer ball on it. I stapled it together.
Beautiful.
But I stuffed it because I wanted it to be 3D, and I stuffed it with dryer lint. And when I gave it to him, he thought that he had to open it, so he ripped it open. But he loved the dryer lint, and he just played with that for like the rest of the day.
He played with the dryer lint?
Yeah, I was like, this is cool. I really like the dryer lint.
I love dryer lint. It's so nice. Why is it sticking to my clothes?
I don't know. It was just. I just thought it was stupid. I forgot that we did that. Do you have any weird phases as a kid besides singer, or?
Weird phases. Well, I mean, the whole like the way I dressed, I'd consider that a weird phase.
Yeah, same. I had a car phase where I memorized all types of cars, like all makes and models of cars, and if one drove by, we go, "That's a Corolla."
How old were you?
9. But I think and my parents were really supportive of it, which I think is really fun. Like they were just like, "Oh, that's weird, but okay, sure."
Do your parents like cars at all?
No.
It's just you.
Just me.
9-year-old Naomi was just like, man, I love cars.
Like, I think it started off with my dad being like, "Oh, that's how you tell it's a Honda," and I was like, "Oh, All right, let's crank that
Let's
up.
go from here.
Yeah. But anyways, we have some fan submissions this week, so we should go through those.
Yeah.
I'll try to find my phone.
It's
while
right there. I can see it.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
We found her phone.
You read one.
Oh my God, Jill! When I said the song that I sang at the Next Star being Colby Calais, Jill starts texting me the lyrics.
Nice. That's love.
Yes. Okay, so one of our first submissions. Well, since I'm already talking about Jill, let's do hers first. So she messaged the Instagram a really cryptic message, motorcycle ghosts.
I didn't know what it meant.
Basically, she explained that when she was a kid, whenever she saw a motorcycle, she thought that if it had that cover on it, like that cover for rain, she thought that meant it was a ghost now. like
it had died and then it was a ghost.
Exactly.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder who told her that. No, she thought that herself because she sent me a text that she texted her dad. She's like, "What's a dumb thing that I believed?" But my favorite part is this whole text conversation was in Dutch, so I'm just like, I see like "Motostroefen."
Yeah. Aw.
That is not a word. I'm sorry, but I find a Jill.
I forgot to share what my parents thought, and my mom's only thing that she told me that she remembered, I thought was weird, is when they say we're gonna put like a cat to sleep, that she thought that it was just gonna go to sleep.
Oh,
I know. I was like, oh, that is so harsh to like have that realization like later. But on a different note, my dad, he thought that little elves powered the lights in stores.
And little bicycles.
I don't know. It wasn't explained. My grandpa just told him that. He also thought that, I think there was a kid once that convinced him that inside, if he cut open a tree, there'd be cheese in it.
Cheese?
Yeah.
Why cheese? I don't see the correlation between cheese and a tree.
Me neither, but you know, he's a kid.
Yeah.
He thought that there was an alternate dimension through mirrors.
Huh.
You know?
Everything but in reverse.
Yeah, which I kind of get.
Yeah.
And he thought, my grandma said she was 26 every birthday. And then his grandma also said that she was 26. And he was like, how can they both be 26? Or he didn't even think how. He was like, okay, yeah, both my mom and my grandmother are both 26 years old.
Weird, but okay.
All right, cool.
Got it. Speaking of parents, the one that comes to mind when I think of my mom is, so, you know, like when you're a kid, you watch your first horror movie, you get scared, like everything is a ghost.
Mine was Pirates of the Caribbean.
That's an interesting first horror movie. It's not really a horror movie. My first horror movie was like The Exorcist, the original.
Nope. Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, I was like that kid. I can handle it, Mom. Don't worry. And then, of course, I stayed up till 3 a.m., which is like the latest I'd ever stayed up ever. Just like staring at the stairwell, just like, when is she coming?
Dang.
But speaking of ghosts, so my mom, she watched a horror movie when she was a kid, and she was all scared. And she was trying to go to sleep, and she swears she saw like a hand from under her bed. Just like a kid thing, right? So she runs to her dad. She's like, Dad, I saw a ghost. Like, don't worry, there's no such thing as ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the devil. And she's like, oh, okay, so that's a thing. My mom was told that ghosts don't exist. It's just the devil. So don't worry.
Oh, just the devil. Well, that's not that bad.
He's just coming for you. It's fine.
He just wants to say hi.
Yeah, he
You're
was
being
waving hello.
rude.
Don't be rude to the devil.
Or he'll be rude back. Dun, dun, dun. Okay.
Fan submission time. All right, I'm going to read one from Camille because you haven't read this one.
No.
So she was told, if I slept with my mouth open, Daddy Longlegs would crawl down your throat and lay eggs. My Christian camp counselor told me that. I slept with a shirt over my face that summer.
I always like to hear how they took precaution to make sure it doesn't happen. That's bad.
That sounds reasonable. Okay, sleep with shirt on head.
Yeah, well, because I've heard that before. Like, oh, a spider comes into your mouth at night, lays eggs in your ears or your mouth or whatever. But I've never heard, like, someone be like, all right, here's my plan. And that's so good. That's great.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can you imagine, like, the kid, like, what are you doing? I'm sleeping with a shirt on my head so the spiders don't lay eggs in my stomach.
You should do the same.
You tell me you don't? That's gross.
We got one from Avery, who had a really good one last week.
Yeah, I intentionally didn't read it this week because I'm ready.
Also has a good one. I remember being really young, and my mom was telling my sister about pregnancies. She mentioned how painful they could be, so for the entire day at school, all I could think of was, I don't want to get pregnant and painfully shit out a baby. That sounds horrible. After school, she cleared up my misunderstandings.
That is so funny.
I know.
I just imagine like a child Avery coming home like, Mom, what, sweetie, what's wrong? I don't want to shit out a baby.
I don't want to get pregnant.
I don't want to be pregnant. Oh no, sweetie. Don't worry.
So good. I know, I read that and I was like, great. I've heard other people think that actually. Like my neighbors used to think that you'd poop out babies as well. Babies were pooped out.
PSA to anybody listening, babies don't get pooped out.
Yeah, you guys.
I just say that. I said that while making eye contact with someone walking by. Babies don't get pooed out. For everybody listening.
The more you know. Okay, what else do we have?
I like Paris' submission this week. It says, they sold babies at Babies R Us, and if I wasn't a good boy, they'd return me.
That's like that kind of like, if you're not good, I'm calling Santa. That's like the same vibe.
Except we're going to take you away.
You're sent back.
We want a new one.
The thing is, like, when parents say stuff like that, like, oh, we're gonna call, I have Santa on the line, or like, I'm gonna return you. You have this constant like worry.
You
most
believed
of the
it.
time. Like, even the whole classic, oh, Santa knows if you're good or bad. I used to think sometimes, I'd be like, oh God, Santa's gonna know.
I think in the back of my head, I'd be like, but I did that thing last year and I still got toys, so whatever. It's not that bad.
Also, oh, I forgot a story that I had. You know how in the field at winter we would build snowballs?
Yeah.
Like really big snowballs,
Yeah.
and like we'd like slide on them or whatever. I made an entire marketing strategy for one that me and my friends had made. Like I made
a marketing strategy.
Yeah, I made like posters, and I picked strategic like hallways to
I'm
put them
thinking
up
your
in.
poster's just like a black circle snowball. Get it.
We gave it a name. I wish I remember what it was, but we made like it was like a lined piece of paper from my notebook. I drew the ball, but I also drew like the ground and like snow, and I'd be like, visit the slide. This like only for grade 4s and 5s, like this Friday.
Exclusive club.
It was.
It's like one of those club posters they post like before the weekend, like, this is the club name, this is who's gonna be there. Girls get in free before 11 p.m., but it's a snowball.
I should be a club promoter. Because people came, like people were excited about it. We put water on it to make it icy so that like you'd slide down even further. And but the fact that I made I was like, oh yeah. And I used to flex that my dad did advertising, because my dad's in advertising. Be like, my dad's in advertising, so I can make a marketing strategy for this.
I like that you flex that for your dad.
Yeah, I gotta give him some creds in there. I can't just come up with it on my own.
My dad's good at marketing. It runs in the genes. What can I say?
So I'm even more reliable. Anyways, sorry, that's an off-topic one, but
it was good.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, we have like
two more submissions.
we have like we have like one, and then the other one was to make fun of me, so we're not going to use that one. But one says, if you eat too many ramen noodles, you get worms in your tummy.
That one's from Maria. Do you think that's
I
like
don't
a
know.
cautionary, like a ramen noodles are bad for you, so don't you dare eat too many or else?
I like to think that she used to just like sneak downstairs and eat ramen noodles at night. Like, you know how kids eat cookies or whatever? Maria was the one who would be like, gotta get those ramen, like just like the crust, like not. That's another question.
She couldn't make them. Like she's like 4 or something maybe, and
yeah.
so she's just like walking downstairs eating raw ramen, or she was 4 and would just boil water at 2 a.m. and sneak the noodles, and her mom's like, you gotta stop doing that or else you're gonna get worms in your tummy. Maria, worms in your
they
tummy.
come to life when you eat them.
Like, oh god, I gotta stop.
That's the borderline also, like, oh, you eat watermelon seeds, a watermelon will grow in your stomach kind of vibes.
Yeah, everyone's been told that.
Yeah, that one I could
Classic.
believe. Also, I've heard one where it's if you eat your toenails, which one, if you eat your toenails, weird concept.
Quick question, on the toe or after they've been clipped off?
After they've been clipped off.
Okay, no, to keep going.
A foot will grow in your stomach.
Okay.
A foot will grow in your stomach. What are you going to do with it?
Where is it? Does the foot have an end?
I don't know.
Okay.
Think of like the ones they sell at Halloween for decorations.
Because they have an end.
Yeah,
So you just have like a foot that like grows up like a tree and out your mouth?
I guess so.
Huh.
And our last one is from someone from Brock, who was just making fun of me for a misspell that I put in my post. But after further digging, he has told me that he thought that the word trains was actually tunnels, and then vice versa. So when he'd be like, "Look at that train," he'd go, "Wow, what a cool tunnel," and that's it.
Wow. That reminds me of my coworker said her kid mixes up the words spicy and hot. So he'd be like, oh, "Mommy, I'm spicy right now."
Oh God!
Like, what does that mean? Don't change his diaper.
My parents used to make pasta for me without any sauce on it, like in a little bowl, and I used to call it clear pasta. And one time someone's like, "Naomi, how was your dinner? How was your day?" I was like, "Good, I got to eat clear pasta." So and they're like, "What the
That
heck?"
kid's weird. Don't talk to her again.
Oh God, what a weird neighbor I have. I'm gonna keep walking my dog in silence if I see her again, even though she's like, 7. So this is our segment that we're gonna do real quick. It's
Yeah,
called,
because we're already at the end of the episode.
I know.
Flew by.
Time flies when we're having fun.
Exactly. But it's time for our segment.
Yeah, so it's called The Devil Wears Walmart. So let me just...
Cue up that stinger.
Sure thing, baby. It's happening.
The devil wears Walmart.
That was ridiculously loud, but it got the point across.
I think when I yelled, "Mom, I don't want to poop a baby," it was really loud. Anyways, back to our segment.
What have you seen this week, Megan?
So, the one that I saw this week that I really wanted to mention is, I think it was Tuesday night. You know how we had like severe cold warnings, so much snow, and it was actively snowing?
Mhm.
I was walking down the street at 8 p.m. or something, and there was a man wearing nothing but his Toronto Raptors, like the championship t-shirt. Nothing else. Okay, sorry, he was wearing pants, but nothing else besides that.
I was like,
But still,
Wow.
that weather, and he was just walking down the street just wearing his t-shirt.
I
That's
hate
just
those
notable.
people. I hate those ones. I only wear shorts. Why?
You gotta rep the Raptors.
What are you proving?
Exactly. Like,
What is your goal?
Yeah, I was wearing like a winter coat, and this
so dumb.
man's in a t-shirt.
Yeah. I forgot. I saw a pair of underwear at a store that said, and it's Christmas, so everyone's selling all their Christmas underwear, which is a
course.
whole other thing. I don't know why people think Christmas is like a sexy holiday, because it's not. But
I want to
anyways.
look at that butt, but that's Santa's face. No, stop. Get off of there.
This one it was just like, "I'll be nicer next year," which is
What'd
funny.
you do?
Is funny because it's really funny to imagine wearing that any other day of the year, like June 26th.
I'll be nicer next year.
Why?
What happened?
You
good.
just, babe, why are you wearing that?
I'm gonna be nicer next year.
But it's June.
And
I've given up already.
I'm always down for self-improvement.
It just helps me, like.
I just want to
Think-
constantly improve, and my underwear helps to remind me every day.
Mhm.
Hey, who needs like days of the week underwear? You just need underwear that's a different motivational quote every day.
God, just on the butt, just every day.
Be a better you.
Eat, pray, love.
Eat your vegetables. Go for a jog.
You, I don't even know.
Text your mom you love her.
On underwear. Don't forget to call. Don't forget to say thank you at the store today.
Make sure you turned the stove off before you left the house.
To do. 1.
Just an actual fill it in yourself to-do list on your underwear. Ah, yes. God damn it, I forgot to buy toilet paper.
I should have looked at the back of my underwear one more time.
You're at work in the mirror looking at your butt like, what are you doing? I'm looking at my to-do list.
Amanda, hold on. I'll be right out there. And it's just one pair too, so it gets pretty gross.
If we ever make merch, it's going to be underwear with motivational sayings.
That's an amazing idea. Anyways, that's pretty much it for the show
Yeah.
this week. Next week's a special episode because it's
Another guest.
no, it's my birthday.
Oh, yeah. Whoops. Oh, yeah, true. It's the birthday special.
It's my birthday next week. But anyways, we'll see.
You can tell what I'm more excited for.
The week after.
Ugh, can't wait. But thank you for listening.
yeah, thank you so much. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
See you next week for not a guest episode.
Yeah, just my birthday.
Bye.
Bye.